Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Commanding General, Brigadier General Milford H. Beagle, and the Post Command Sergeant Major Jeremiah Gann, welcome to the United States Army Training Center and Fort Jackson for the graduation of Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, Delta, and Foxtrot companies from the 1st Battalion, 34th Infantry Regiment, 165th Infantry Brigade. Please stand for the invocation given by Chaplain Deborah Frick.
Please join me in prayer in your faith and belief. Almighty God, today is a special day, a time of recognition of hard work and completion. We're very thankful for all that you have taught these young men and women in their time of learning and growing. Thank you for this strength and determination you gave to each person to make it through to the end. We acknowledge their courage to follow their vision and see it to completion. To all who will step up and be recognized today, we ask that you give them a sense of fulfillment in their accomplishment. Also remind them that they didn't do it alone, but they were a team and many helped along their difficult journey, and to extend their thanks to those who were there for them. In addition, remind each of your interest in their future success and that they are never alone in their journeys, for you are faithfully with them, with your power and great the guidance. In your name I pray, amen.
Please be seated. The purpose of today's ceremony is to recognize the commitment of the men and women you see standing in formation before you today. They have volunteered to serve their country as soldiers. This review is the last official formation of the training cycle. Not everyone successfully completes this difficult period of training, but those in formation today represent disciplined, motivated, physically fit soldiers who exemplify the serving Army values: loyalty, duty, respect, selfless service, honor, integrity, and personal courage. They are imbued within the warrior ethos and display the tenets of putting the mission first, never accepting defeat, never quitting, and never leaving behind a fallen comrade. This is an important day, and they can take great pride in their accomplishments. To the parents, families, and friends of these soldiers, Fort Jackson extends a warm and sincere welcome. We are justifiably proud of them and are equally honored that they have chosen to join our ranks. Please direct your attention to the left of the formation. The units marching today from your left to right are the 282nd Army Band under the command of Chief Warrant Officer 3, George T. Bauer. Graduating soldiers from Alpha Company, Bravo Company, the Battalion Color Guard, and graduating soldiers from Delta Company and Foxtrot Company. Identified by the distinctive headgear are the drill sergeants. These are dedicated non-commissioned officers, form the backbone of the Army's training center system. Selected on the basis of professionalism, competence, leadership, and years of service, these men and women undergo intensive training to earn the right to wear the distinctive hat and insignia. With the drill sergeant hat goes the important responsibility of molding civilian men and women into soldiers. The commander of troops for today's ceremony is Major Dwayne M. Terry, who serves as the executive officer for the 1st Battalion, 34th Infantry Regiment. Major Terry and the battalion staff are positioned on the field. The reviewing officer for today's ceremony is the commander of the 1st Battalion, 34th Infantry Regiment, Lieutenant Colonel Andrew D. Staples, from Bowling Green, Virginia. On his left is Command Sergeant Major Andrew Bullock from San Diego, California, the senior non-commissioned officer, master trainer, and principal advisor to the commander.
Always forward.
commander of troops will now bring forward the colors and persons to be honored.
Good. The person to be honored. Been done. Come on.
Competence and commitment are the hallmarks of professionalism. The soldiers and drill sergeants coming forward will be recognized for their excellence in training and duty performance and serve as examples to all.
Certain colors and person honored are present. Present the command.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is appropriate for soldiers not in uniform and all armed forces veterans to salute the American flag. We ask all others to please remove your headgear and place your right hand over your heart as our national anthem is played. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Lieutenant Colonel Staples and Command Sergeant Bullock will now present the awards. The Outstanding Drill Sergeant of the Cycle from Alpha Company is Drill Sergeant Thomas Hoffman from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. The Soldier of the Cycle from Alpha Company is Private Abigail White from Portland, Oregon. The Soldier Leader of the Cycle from Alpha Company is Private Alvin Santiago from Orlando, Florida. The Outstanding Drill Sergeant of the Cycle from Bravo Company is Drill Sergeant Stephen McCoy from Silva, North Carolina. The Soldier of the Cycle from Bravo Company is Specialist Matthew Hood from Denton, Texas. The Soldier Leader of the Cycle from Bravo Company is Private George Walker from Hot Springs, Arizona. The Outstanding Drill Sergeant of the Cycle from Charlie Company is Drill Sergeant Craig Woolover from Campton, California. The Soldier of the Cycle from Charlie Company is Private Precious Thomas from Sussex, Virginia. The Soldier Leader of the Cycle from Charlie Company is Private First Class Jawa Purdy from Los Angeles, California. The outstanding drill sergeant of the cycle from Delta Company is Drill Sergeant Shade Humphrey from Davenport, Iowa. The soldier of the cycle from Delta Company is Private Gabriel Ortiz from Virginia Beach, Virginia. The soldier leader of the cycle from Delta Company is Private Daniel Rico from Chicago, Illinois. The outstanding drill sergeant of the cycle from Foster Company is Drill Sergeant Tracy Jocelyn from Montgomery, Alabama. The soldier of the cycle from Foster Company is Private Candace Herbert from Fayetteville, North Carolina. The soldier leader of the cycle from Foster Company is Private Christopher Bass from Jacksonville, Florida. Ladies and gentlemen, the commander of the 1st Battalion, 34th Infantry Regiment, Lieutenant Colonel Andrew Staples.
All right, good morning again, everyone. So Brigadier General Beagle, Command Sergeant Major Gann, Brigadier General Retired Smith, ma'am, distinguished guest, Colonel Asplin, Sergeant Major Whetstone, welcome to today's graduation for the soldiers of the 1st Battalion, 34th Infantry Regiment. Now, I was going to talk about the rain, but apparently between the chaplain and me asking 3 companies worth of parents to pray for good weather, we must be in good standings with somebody, and we're going to have a great day. So yesterday I mentioned I would speak of the drill sergeant. It was already mentioned a little bit before, but let me reiterate. They are the immaculate sergeants with the very distinct headgear standing before you. Each one, especially selected and trained professional non-commissioned officer, has proven themselves capable of performing at the highest levels for enduring periods of time. They are iron men and women. They represent the best of the Army. They are the first thing you see in the morning, the last thing you see at night, every day, every night, throughout basic training. The drill sergeant is charged with transforming civilians into soldiers in 10 short weeks. They do not take this task lightly. Now, most don't believe me, but I'll say this. Every trainee has potential, whether they know it or not. And the drill sergeant will find a way of helping them achieve it, especially what they thought was once impossible. If you think of this as a team sport, they are the Army's coaching staff, and they will find a way to achieve victory. They do this by leading by example, setting the highest standards for themselves and inspiring all around them to emulate them in every way. The drill sergeant is the ultimate standard bearer. They carry the solemn duty of building the Army one soldier at a time. They have embraced and without hesitation lived the Army motto, "This will defend." So let's talk a little bit about Class 1804, the soldier standing before you, the reason we're here today. Well, they vary in age from 18 to 54. Now, it's one thing for an 18-year-old full of zest to take up the challenge, but a 54-year-old, that's pretty special. More so because this individual had already served honorably in a sister service for over 20 years. This class is made up of individuals who are 2nd and 3rd generation military members, proudly continuing their family legacies. This class is made up of those seeking citizenship in our great nation, sacrificing and preparing to serve their adopted home. This class is also made up of Gold Star families, the true embodiment of our Army values. Since Class 1804's arrival to Fort Jackson, I can report that your soldiers have learned and become proficient in the art and science of combat. They have learned many new skills: rifle marksmanship, employing hand grenades, land navigation, working as a team, hand-to-hand combatives, the ability to solve problems, physical and mental toughening exercises, how to adapt at the times that seem an ever-changing environment. All are qualified on their carbine, excelling at the range, some even achieving the expert marksmanship badge. Basic training is also a continuous assessment, where we will look at drive and determination. You may have heard of words like hammer, anvil, and forge. These exercises were not only designed to test how well each soldier learned what was taught, but also their grit, pushing them to new levels, both physically and mentally. In the forge alone, they covered over 40 miles on foot, some carrying up to 40 pounds of equipment, all successfully completing a series of tasks and earning their black berets. You should all feel safe in knowing that our future is secure and that those who stand before you represent what is best in and about America. They don't know it yet, but somewhere in those ranks are future sergeants major, colonels, leaders in industry, and possibly a governor or senator. So to the soldiers on the field, we are proud of you. We are honored to be a part of the beginning of your service. Many doors are now open to you, and there is no telling where your journey will take you. You are charged to continually improve yourself and reflect upon your experiences here at Basic Combat Training. Who knows? Maybe in 30 years, you'll find yourself sitting on a similar bench next to your battle buddy from basic training, watching your child march in a similar ceremony. So I'll leave you with these 7 words. Never quit, keep moving, always forward, victory.
Today's soldier is above all a warrior, adaptive, confident, and competent. As a soldier, you are totally committed to the warrior ethos, grounded in the Army values, and determined to destroy the enemies of the United States of America and her allies. The United States Army soldier's creed embodies this commitment. The uniform you wear at this moment is more than an outward display of your vocational choice. The uniform is a symbol of a nation, and an unspoken assurance to all who see that you are willing and able protector of the freedoms fought so hard for. By all those who have gone before and those who will bravely come after, you have become what you set out to be, a soldier in the United States Army. The soldier's creed is your declaration of your unshakable commitment to the ideals this nation was founded upon and will continue to guarantee. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand as Private Abigail White leads the soldiers standing before you to the recitation of the soldier's creed.
The soldier's creed! I'm an American soldier. I'm a warrior, member of the team. I serve the people of the United States and live the Army Valley. I will always place the mission first. I will never accept defeat. I will never quit. I will never leave a fallen comrade. I am disciplined, physically and mentally sound, trained and proficient in my warrior tasks and drills. I will always maintain my arms, my equipment, and myself. I am an expert and I am a professional. I stand ready to deploy, engage, and destroy the enemies of the United States of America in close combat. I am a guardian of freedom and the American way of life. I am an American soldier.
Please be seated.
Action review. Pause and review.
Ladies and gentlemen, once the ceremony has concluded, family members of the awardees may meet their soldiers at their tents located to the left of the bleachers. All the family members and friends may meet their soldiers to the far right of the bleachers at the end of the field. We ask that you please remain seated and in the bleachers until all soldiers have passed the review and stand and the playing of the Army song is complete. The name, Leyte Dragons, hails from when the 34th Infantry was chosen to spearhead the amphibious assault on the island of Leyte for the 24th Infantry Division to liberate the Philippines in October of 1944. The unit maintained constant contact with the enemy and was directly involved in a series of bloody battles for 75 continuous days. During the first 5 days and nights of hard fighting, troops of the 44th Infantry Regiment killed over 800 enemies in the effort to expand the beachheads and take control of the grounds commanding the entrance to the northeastern Leyte Valley. But it was on the Calais Ridge that the heroic action of the regiment 1st Battalion resulted in the awarding the 1st Presidential Unit Citation. On November 10, the battalion of 565 men infiltrated and seized 900-foot Calais Ridge, over 3 kilometers behind enemy lines. For 24 days, this group of men held a tactically important ridge against 10 major attacks and 17 other engagements, often through heavy rain and mud, on the treacherous and steep terrain, dangerous close to friendly mortar and artillery fire. Many of these engagements were fought so hard hand in hand. Elements of the battalion were cut off 4 times from the counterattack and regained contact with the rest of the unit. Within 17 days, the battalion was reduced to 390 men due to combat losses combined with sickness and jungle infections. On December 2nd, the battalion finally cleared the heights overlooking the roads and began turning over the area of fresh unit for the 32nd Infantry Division. During the struggle, the 1st Battalion, 34th Infantry Regiment, lost 26, 106 wounded, and 2 missing, but accounted for an estimated 900 enemy dead. For their arduous efforts against Calais Ridge, the 1st Battalion received the 1st Presidential Unit Citation. Passing the review and stand is the commander of troops, Major Dwayne M. Terry, and the battalion staff. The 282nd Army Band is directed by Chief Warrant Officer 3, George T. Bauer, from Clemson, South Carolina. The drum major is Staff Sergeant Michael Bolton from Enola, Pennsylvania. Captain Ian Sandel from Omaha, Nebraska. 1st Platoon is led by Drill Sergeant Lee Twan from Springfield, Massachusetts. 2nd Platoon is led by Drill Sergeant Timothy Rao from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. 3rd Platoon is led by Drill Sergeant Roxana McCauley from New Orleans, Louisiana. 4th Platoon is led by Drill Sergeant Christian Allman from Miami, Florida. In the rear of the formation is the 1st Sergeant, 1st Sergeant Daniel Barton from Dover, Arkansas. Lieutenant Alexander Fields from Kingsport, Tennessee. First platoon is led by Drill Sergeant William Kilpatrick from Killeen, Texas. Second platoon is led by Drill Sergeant Aaron Morgan from Airbo, South Carolina. Third platoon is led by Drill Sergeant Shamika Miggs from Spartanburg, South Carolina. Fourth platoon is led by Drill Sergeant Vanessa Kennedy from Kingston, Jamaica. In the rear of the formation is the First Sergeant. First Sergeant Albert Triplett from North Wolfbrook, North Carolina. Ladies and gentlemen, you are reminded that as you are approached by the American flag, it is appropriate to rise and remain standing until it has passed to your right. Charlie Company is commanded by Captain Juan Moya from El Paso, Texas. First platoon is led by Drill Sergeant Martha Smith from Eva Beach, Hawaii. Second platoon is led by Drill Sergeant Toribio Garola from Los Angeles, California. Third platoon is led by Drill Sergeant Harry Ruiz from Miami, Florida. Fourth platoon is led by Drill Sergeant Corey Poindexter from Evergreen, Alabama. In the rear of the formation is the First Sergeant. First Sergeant Mitchell Petrie from St. Croix Falls, Wisconsin. Delta Company is commanded by Hassan Al-Sahan from Amman, Jordan. First platoon is led by Drill Sergeant Carlos Rosario from Ponce, Puerto Rico. Second platoon is led by Drill Sergeant Carolina Ruiz from Los Angeles, California. Third platoon is led by Drill Sergeant Marquise Peoples from St. Louis, Missouri. Fourth platoon is led by Drill Sergeant Sabrina Rodriguez from Ponce, Puerto Rico. In the rear of the formation is the First Sergeant. First Sergeant Janio Cespedes from Sabana Grande, Puerto Rico. Foxtrot Company is commanded by First Lieutenant David Adams from New Union, New Jersey. First platoon is led by Drill Sergeant Gary Drake from Rochester, New Hampshire. Second platoon is led by Drill Sergeant William Prather from Yakensville, North Carolina. 3rd Platoon is led by Drill Sergeant Christopher Irvine from Ventura, California. Platoon is led by Drill Sergeant Christopher Lacaze from Elgin, South Carolina. In the rear of the formation is the 1st Sergeant, 1st Sergeant Michael Union from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the Army song and please remain in the bleachers until the conclusion of the ceremony is announced. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes today's ceremony. Family members of our awardees, please meet your soldiers under the canopy to the left of the formations. All the family members, please meet your soldiers to the far right of the bleachers at the end of the parade field. We ask that you please remember to take all your trash and personal items with you as you exit. Once again, thank you for your attendance. Enjoy the rest of your day and have a safe journey home. Victory!